Even though the Barclays were delighted to finally have Nicholas back, there were a few things that they couldn't ignore. One being the most obvious, which was the fact that their brother had been blonde with blue eyes when he was taken, but the boy who came back from Spain had dark hair and brown eyes. Nicholas had an extraordinary explanation for his change in appearance. He said that to keep his identity a secret, the people who had taken him had performed experiments to change his hair and eye color so that no one would recognize him as Nicholas. He also spoke with a heavy French accent, but this was explained away with his story of being forced to only speak French for the 3 years. The family was so relieved to finally have Nicholas home that they actively ignored some of the things authorities raised concerns about, and even told investigators to close the case. A film crew heard about the amazing story and asked to follow the Barclays around to document how Nicholas was adjusting to returning to his family. They agreed, and that was when everything started to fall apart. A local private detective was working with the crew and became increasingly suspicious of the French-speaking, dark-haired Nicholas. He began his own investigation and took a picture of Nicholas's ears to compare to earlier photos. He found that they didn't match, and as ears don't age or change, he took his concerns to the authorities. By February of 1998, after Nicholas was back living with the Barclays for 5 months, the FBI became involved when they obtained a court order to investigate. When Nicholas's fingerprints and DNA were taken, it was determined that the man the Barclays believed to be their Nicholas was actually a 23-year-old Frenchman named Frédéric Pierre Bourdon. Frédéric was a notorious con artist with over 500 different identities and the nickname the Chameleon. Despite this shocking revelation, the Barclays refused to believe that Frédéric wasn't Nicholas. Even when in court, Frédéric admitted to being an imposter and pleaded guilty to passport fraud and perjury. He was imprisoned for 6 years. Questions swirled around this revelation. Where was the real Nicholas? How had the Barclays been fooled? And why did Frédéric do it? Though this case is utterly shocking, the imposter is not the only twist. Investigators were concerned by the Barclays' behavior during the entire incident and their willful acceptance of Frédéric.